On National Indigenous Peoples Day, June 21st, 2017, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II bestowed a rare honor on St. Catherine's Chapel at Massey College. The Queen designated it a Chapel Royal in recognition of the unique relationship between Massey College and the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. In Anishinaabemowin, the Chapel Royal at Massey College is called Gichitwa Gemakwe, Mississauga Anishinaabek, Anam Amik, the Queen's Anishinaabek Sacred Place, a name created by James Shawana, Anishinaabek language teacher at Lloyd S. King Elementary School in New Credit. 3 of the chapels royal located outside the United Kingdom are located in Ontario. Notably, each of these chapels is distinguished by an Indigenous affiliation, which demonstrates the direct connection between Indigenous nations and the Crown. The Queen's Chapel Royal near Deseronto and the Chapel Royal in Brantford are associated with the Mohawk Nation. The Chapel Royal at Massey College is the first to be associated with the Anishinaabe Nation. This mural, created by Phil Cote, tells the story of the Treaty of Niagara through an Indigenous voice and provides an introduction to the theme of the Chapel Royal. It illustrates the negotiation process and the nature of Indigenous treaties as living agreements that evolve and change constantly, as do all living things. The Silver Covenant Chain of Friendship wampum belt near the base of the mural has Indigenous icons, as well as the date of 1764, which represents the union of Indigenous people and the Crown. The woman on the left is Molly Brant, the wife of Sir William Johnson, who negotiated the treaty on behalf of King George III, and elder sister of Joseph Brant. She likely explained to Johnson the importance of wampum in Indigenous treaty negotiation, thereby influencing him to present the Silver Covenant Chain of Friendship wampum belt. She holds a string of wampum beads, which give her permission to speak on the matter. The shells from which wampum beads are made are considered living, even though they have been cut and pierced to make beads. As such, wampum belts are living treaty documents. A turtle tattoo on Molly Brant's arm represents Turtle Island, the Indigenous name for North America. The blue seed carrier bird in the upper left corner represents the heart. The row of Indigenous chiefs to the right begins with Chief Pontiac of the Odawa, one of the principal organizers of a rebellion in 1763 against the British that led to the formation of a First Nations alliance. He can be identified by the bear robe he is wearing. The robe is distinguished by a bear head. He also carries a talking stick. The row continues with representations of some of the 24 Indigenous nations who negotiated the Treaty of Niagara with Sir William Johnson. They include Huron-Wendat, deer, antler, and feather headdress, Haudenosaunee, Shawnee, wearing a George III gorget on his chest, Sioux Fox, Anishinaabek, and Mississauga, eel feather bonnet with a red falcon on the front. The animals represent different Indigenous clans, or dotems. The Mississaugas are members of the Eagle Dotem. The word Mississauga has 2 meanings, a place where the mouths of many rivers meet, and a place where the eagles meet. The marten near the base of the painting represents the warrior clan. The role of this clan is to protect the Indigenous people. In his letter of support for the Chapel Royal, Mississauga Chief Stacey Laforme stated, "My people's ancestors were at Niagara when the Silver Covenant Chain of Friendship was extended into these lands over 250 years ago. It is in the spirit of that gathering that this chapel will serve as a place to gather regularly for this and future generations. Confederation set aside our treaty relationships, beginning a very dark chapter in the relationships between Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples on these lands. The establishment of this Chapel Royal, a space to reflect, learn, and reconnect, by Her Majesty and the Massey community 150 years later, is a profound act of reconciliation. It will become, in effect, a new council fire for our peoples to gather around in love and friendship.